Okay, so our friends Kurt and Nicole showed us this very fun way to do steak. We're going to try it. These are, as you can see, it says saumon de vigne, but I think it's just pieces of the vine. Yep. So
not as fresh looking as we get in Bordeaux.
we'll get some. We'll bring some back from the Libourne market. It makes the steak taste really, really good.
Yeah, chunks of vines. It's just wood.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Maybe don't grab the hot one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this has to cook down a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, it smells good.
Yep, that's the smell. And when they do it, they have a big pile of vines that's like this tall. You know, look at my hand.
It's the smoke. It's the smoke. Okay, there we go.
A pile of vines this big and it cooks down, and then they put the steaks on. So we'll end up doing that and we'll show everybody. Entrecôte, false fillet, faux fillet. Sorry, faux fillet. Vegan brain. There you go. See what happens. More coals next time.
I am excited to take you back with me to one of my favorite thrift stores. It's from a chain of stores that are basically run to help support homeless shelters for people in central France and around France. And the chain is called Emmaus, and then there's always a number that is located at the side of the name of the store. And so this one is for our local department, which is the Haute Viande, number 87. So I love this particular Emmaus. I've been to 2 or 3 others nearby, and this one is just always full of the most amazing porcelain, and they often have great artwork and furniture as well, and nothing is very expensive. It's not curated, so it changes each week, and you really are surprised by what will be there. But there is regularly a great selection of tureens and sets of porcelain and glassware. So we thought that you might enjoy going along with us to take a look at this Limoges Emmaus store. And I will say that it is in the older part of Limoges, not the oldest part that actually we're going to show a little bit later in today's video, where the cathedral is located, but definitely not in a newer part of Limoges. So it's just full of really interesting and just historical finds. So please enjoy. One thing that does help me have self-control when I go to these Brocante and thrift stores is that I have very little room to store things right now. And so I have one main cupboard in the kitchen and I have another one in the dining room. And so I have to be kind of particular and absolutely love something. So it sometimes leads me to talk myself out of something that I probably would have liked, but I do try to make sure that I don't bring too much home, although the temptation is very strong whenever I visit. It took an enormous amount of self-control for me to leave these loaf pans in the store. If I had more room to display and store them, I would have taken them with me for sure. I think one of the things that I enjoy the most about Brocante and these types of thrift stores in France is how universally unique the items in the store really are. And I have a question about this particular item. I have never seen quite this presentation with the carriage and little cups, and I don't know if it's used for espresso or tea, or if it's something else that was maybe served in this way. So if you have any information about it, I did check the cup and it is Limoges porcelain. So I'd love to know more about it. If you have any idea what this was used for, please let me know in the comments.
Bonjour madame.
At the very back of this particular store, there are some really fun linens and jewelry items and I really enjoy going back there. So if you do go to MIOS 87, walk all the way to the back to see some of these great treasures. One of the most gratifying things that having a house in France brings to you is that you can bring your mom to see one of the most extraordinary constructions that I've ever seen, and it's the Cathedral of Saint-Étienne in Limoges. This that you're looking at right now is the choir screen on the right, and it sits kind of at the very back of the entrance area to the cathedral, and it's one of the epics that's represented in this amazing place. So the cathedral was built in the 9th century, initially on top of a pagan sort of worship area, and it went through a series of construction and reconstruction from that time all the way through about 1888. And so it represents many different historical eras, and you can see them throughout as you walk. And I highly recommend that you visit this cathedral if you get a chance to come to Limoges. You will thoroughly enjoy it and be awe-inspired by it. It houses one of the biggest organs in France with over 6,000 pipes. So it's an enormous structure, and it sounds amazing. If you get a chance to go when they are actually having a service, it sounds amazing. You can feel it through your entire body. And so it's got a representation of the Romanesque architecture from the 9th and 10th centuries. It's got the Gothic, mainly Gothic architecture throughout, and it does have the Renaissance influence from the choir screen. And one thing you'll notice as you walk through is that many of the statuary elements inside were beheaded during the French Revolution as a protest of sort of the religious and aristocracy, oppression of the people of France. And so they have not replaced them. In many of the bigger cities, the statues have had the heads restored. In this one, you will not see that. So it's kind of a special landmark in that way. And we leave you today with just some extra scenes of this amazing place. The tower had been destroyed, well, at least the spires, multiple times, and was rebuilt without them. So the original spires were stone and were taken off in a hurricane and a storm, and then rebuilt with wood, which was hit by lightning in the year 1574. So they rebuilt it without the spires. So as you leave us today, just please enjoy this amazing feat of architecture and history. We'll see you soon.